Streamyard is one of my favorite live streaming platforms. I've been using it since the early beta days, and I have grown with this tool and seen it become so many amazing things with so many different options. It's kind of hard to know like everything that you can do in this tool. So in this video, I'm gonna do a full walkthrough of every single feature that is available on Streamyard to date. Take action now. What's up? My name is Desiree. If you're looking to grow your business with better social media and content marketing, take action now. Hit that subscribe button and the bell below. Now, this video is brought to you by Streamyard, and you can try it out for free if you are new to this whole live streaming game. You're like,
oh, I clicked on this because I've heard about the Streamyard thing, but I don't know what I can do and I want to get started.
Click that link I have for you down in the description below to get started for free. All right, let's head over to the computer where I'm going to show you how this whole thing works. But I also think it's important to note you can do everything on desktop and mobile. And as a fun little extra up here, we're gonna have a little ticker of how many different features and tools are available for you within Streamyard. When getting started, we're going to be logged into our account here into Streamyard. So let's start with all the features that we have available to us right in here. So first things first, we have our broadcast. Okay, so when you go into create your broadcast, our first feature is we have a new broadcast. This allows us to create the foundation for what we need to do to go live. And we also have our second feature, which is to record only. I actually use the record only feature a lot with my podcast that I do, Women of Video, because I'm able to just record it natively and not have to go live anywhere specifically. Second, we have use pre-recorded video. This allows for you to upload a video that you've already recorded or edited or done, and you can broadcast it live to any of these places. You would want to use something like this maybe for like if you have a nice edited video, you have a training you want to share again, something you've done in the past and you want to do it again, and just kind of make sure that you're present in the comment section so that you can be aware of what's going on there. We also have here, we have upcoming. So these are the ones that are scheduled to happen. And then we have our past. So what this allows us to do is we have the things that we've already done. And why this is helpful is because then we can go over here to these three dots and we can download our recording. We can embed it into like a blog or an email. We can schedule this broadcast to happen again, which I think is really cool. And then you also can enter the studio to do anything that you want to do in here. And then you have these here. So these are the links that take you to where it was live streamed to. And then you can delete the recording or you can delete the broadcast. So over here on the left on our next section, we have our videos. These are all the videos that have already happened here on the channel. This is where it's stored. So Streamyard is really great depending on what your plan is. It will store your different videos here for a certain amount of time. Destinations is all the places that you can live stream. When you hit add destination, you can see you can live stream to all of these different places. These are kind of the built-in ones that you can do. Switch and Hop In is Streamyard's owner of the company, where you can do like live events. Or if all else fails, if none of these are available as an option, you can do a custom RTMP, which allows for you to create a custom server to go somewhere specific. For example, I use the custom RTMP for going live onto Amazon shopping because I'm a paid influencer over there. Let's go over here to members. Members is where you can invite team members to it. So this is really important if you have like a producer for your show or someone that you're trying to do things with. This is going to allow for you to have a collaborative account and do things. So maybe like you're the star of it and then they are going to be the person behind the scenes who's doing stuff. That way you both have access to the back end of Streamyard. You go down here, we have team settings. Again, same idea. I can name my team and I can have my billing information, and I can see down here in the far left-hand corner how much storage I have available to me, and I can add more if I need to by paying for a different plan. Okay, so let's go into creating a broadcast just so that we can kind of walk through what this looks like. So the title is always going to be the title of your live stream. This is going to be what appears as the title for your video. Like on YouTube, it's what the title is for that video for what it is. If you click onto the YouTube symbol, you can see we have our description. We can set to public, unlisted, or private, depending on what your needs are, and then you can schedule it for later. When you have your thumbnail, this is going to be the standard 1280 by 720. That's available for most thumbnail platforms. This can be applied to Facebook as well, Twitter, all that kind of stuff. Then we can pick our day and time that we want to do this for. When we select another place like Facebook, you can see that Facebook doesn't allow starting more than 10 minutes late, so make sure that you're on time. So if you're going to schedule it for a future date, you can do that there. All right, and then, if we want to do this custom Amazon one. So I have these three different ones so you can see. So what I have available to me because I'm doing this is I have customized each location. So what I can do is click on them and fill in the information specifically for that social network so that it can maybe be different. So maybe like what I do in my YouTube stream is different because I add so much more messaging. I add like maybe my terms of service, or I have my standard links that I always use in my feed. I have that. For Facebook, maybe I have less things. With Facebook groups, you have to have the thing that's like, you have to authorize Streamyard to have access so that you can see who's posting in groups. It's a Facebook thing, not a Streamyard thing. Over here with our custom RTMP, we have to have the information that goes here, which is just the title. So every platform is different for sure, and make sure you take the time to fill each one of those out specifically. So once we have the title of our stream, this is what we're going to see when we enter the studio. As you can see, this is what we have. We have what our mic is. So we have mute, camera, and settings. We'll go in there in a second. And this is going to be your display name, what will show up here in these bottom third of the screen for the live stream. Let's go into settings to see what our options are. First things first, we have general. So this is our broadcast quality. Depending on where you are going live, you will either have high definition available to you or just standard definition. So like for Amazon live shopping, you have to have it here at 720. It cannot handle high def, but you can do high def like for YouTube and Facebook and stuff. All of these different options. So let's break down what each one of these is. So shift videos up for comments and banners. We have audio avatars. So this allows us to see when the person is in the bottom right-hand corner, like in our backstage area, when they come into the feed. Automatically add or share screens onto your stream. So when you share your screen, it is automatically going to add to the screen. So maybe you just want to kind of like get that ready ahead of time. So you can disable this if you don't want that to pop up onto screen right away while you're live streaming. Record a separate audio file for each guest. This is huge because this is really helpful for the podcast situation where you can have separate audio tracks. So let's say you're talking to somebody and they have a fire engine that goes by their window. What you can do is separate out those audio tracks so yours is uninterrupted but theirs isn't, and you can mute them for the podcast so that it's a clean audio situation. With our camera, we can have whatever camera we have selected for what we're doing. So like I have like a top-down camera here. Again, we can pick what our camera definition is going to be for whatever we're trying to do, and it's going to give me different warnings. You can mirror your camera so that it is like, you know, this is where my mouse is and it's going to mirror exactly what it is. It's kind of up to you if you want to do that or not do that. Audio. So this is where we get to pick where our mic is. So I have my mic selected for this because I'm doing this screen recording, but I also can pick where things can be heard from. So do I need to have it coming out of like my headphones or something specific? For me, I just have it coming straight out of the monitor. We also have echo cancellation. This allows for us to increase what's going on with our guests so that we can have a little bit more control of like what is happening. It enables you to like turn them down, minimize echoing. So echoing is like if they have an internet delay, you can hear that reverberation back. This minimizes that really, really well. We have stereo audio, which is something that's really specific to like performances. Like if you're doing like church performances, or in the case of this, like musicians and things like that, it allows for you to fix that up. And it automatically adjusts the mic audio. So I'll show you what this looks like, but you can turn this off and then you can kind of set how loud someone is going to be. Sometimes you have louder people, sometimes you don't. So now let's talk about our virtual backgrounds. Virtual backgrounds are like so that you can like have a messy background in real life, but then like something like this is what actually shows up behind you. You have this kind of standard one. I had put this thumbnail in here just to kind of like talk about it. But you can also have none, which is fine. And if you have a green screen, you're going to be able to kind of place that behind you. You can buy those super cheap off of Amazon. And if you select this, then you can pick whichever one it is that you want. And it makes it a very clean outline for you versus them trying to figure out which one that it is. For more information about how virtual backgrounds use, they have a whole guide with tips, which is super helpful. Hotkeys. So hotkeys allows for your keyboard to kind of do some of the different layouts for you, but hotkeys work best if you have something that's like the Elgato Stream Deck, which is something, this exact thing. This allows for you to create hotkeys out of each one of these little buttons that are here to do something specific. So if I hit, you know, this button right here, I want that to show up the 2-person split. If I hit this button here, it makes the guest solo, and this one right here would make me solo. So it's kind of one of those things like this can set it up, and you use this area right here to set that up for you. And it's really, really super helpful. Being able to use hotkeys really simplifies what's going on in your streams to make it really quick. Now, let's talk about what you can allow your guests to do or not do. Guests can either view comments or not view comments. They can play a sound when the guest enters. It has to authenticate being there for their Facebook and stuff. This is a way for you to ban the guests from your studio and things like that if you need to. All right, now let's enter our studio and talk about all the different options that we have in here. So first things first, we have all of these different layouts, which are really important as you have more and more people on here. And I think that when you have guests, like these two are like the real money shots because they're really helpful. But then you also have these ones as well. Okay, so as you can see, this is where I can see I am not in the stream yet, but I can add myself right here and I can have that be in there. When you click this mute button here, it's to mute yourself. If you need to mute a guest, you can just kind of click on their little mute mic button over them, because since you are in charge of the production, you can do that. You can stop your camera. As you can see, mine turned off, or if you need to turn it on. We have settings here, which is another thing that you can do. I want to show you something specific that is in here that it was not in the other settings, and that is crop solo layout for the background image. So let me show you what this is. So when I'm in here, as you can see the background image. If I go into settings, layouts, and I turn that off, I am now full screen here, okay? So this is a great thing for you to keep in mind if you want to have on or off, if you want the background to be doing something. Maybe you want it to be branded, you want to have a phone number, you want to have logos or whatever. This allows for you not to be just full screen, but to have the background as an added thing. You can use like borders and things like that. So this is a really great feature for you to have that is found in the setting. Now let's talk over share. We have these 4 different sharing options. So slides is like for Google Slides. If you have a presentation or a PowerPoint that you want to do and you want to have that on the screen while you're talking about something, you can have that here, and then you can kind of change your layout. So like maybe if I'm talking about this really specifically and I want myself to be the main person that's seen here, I can have that going on here, and then I can, you know, switch it back to this smaller one, or I can make myself in the bottom corner if I'm trying to present. This is super helpful for when you are doing presentations and you want to like keep your face on there or not. Now I want to show you the next share, which is an extra camera. Hi, so you can have an extra camera that's in here. So I have 2 webcams set up on my desktop, which is, I know is like kind of like a next level fancy thing. And I can add myself and have these 2 cameras. So like, why would you need this? So let's say I'm doing literally this kind of setup. You can see my face, and then you can see me like demonstrating whatever it is that I'm trying to do. Maybe I'm building something, I'm cooking something. Maybe I have someone demoing something over there, and I just need to have one camera. I need to have control. This is so you can have a secondary camera for whatever that reason may be. And it doesn't require you to have another guest or open up a whole new Streamyard tab, which can cause a whole world of like reverberation problems and things like that. Now, as you can see, I have this remove here. I can take that down away from the stream so that I can be the one that's seen. Now, same thing here. If I have this here, if I hit this solo layout, it makes it so the other person is still there, and they can talk and stuff, but like I'm the main person. So this is great for interviews and stuff, because then people can still be talking and you can still be present. Like you can still say something or comment and things like that. So while I have the 2 things available up here, I'm going to show you the different layouts. So 2, the big one big, one small. What's cool is you can click the one and you can just drag them over and switch it out. We have this layout, which is nothing really. And then you have this one side by side and this one in the corner for more people for presentations and stuff, which we have seen already. Okay, so when I go to video file, I can upload a video up and that goes into the stream. Now, why would I want to do this? So let's say, again, I have the 2 people here and we're doing a commentary about something. We can pull this up to show something up. Or maybe you have a demo. So let's say, for example, that I am trying to do a tutorial and I want to show something off, I can do this. For Amazon Live, this allows for me to take vertical videos of products that I've created or I reviewed and have them on screen while I am here as well. You can do this not only with vertical videos, but also with horizontal videos as well. So this is a great way for you to add video and not have sound, or you can unmute it and have sound. And so you can kind of have that here to talk about and have it up there as part of it. So you can upload any kind of video as long as it is the correct format, which is going to need to be an MP4 file. Next share is sharing your screen. So let's say I have a tab or a window I want to show on the screen. It takes me immediately to where I'm screen sharing. So I have to go back to Streamyard to make sure that my layout is the way that I want it to be for the tab I'm wanting to show. I also think it's important to note this. As I make my screen smaller on my actual desktop, it changes the position of it on here as well. So if you have to make it like, you have to make this tab like squished, it'll show up squished on the live stream as well. Okay, so just a fun little feature that I think is interesting to note for the screen share as well. So next we have invite. So invite, this is the link that you send to someone to join you on your stream. You can copy this link and do something, or you can hit it over to Facebook Messenger or to email. It's automatically going to have in there, and it's going to include instructions for what they need to do. Because StreamYard is browser based, it makes it very simple for anyone to use it on mobile or desktop devices. And then we can just leave the studio, and that exits us out, which we don't want to do. I switched my mirror, and we're gonna go over to the right-hand side of the screen over here, so I'm not looking away when it's over here, okay? So first things first, we have our comments. So this is where the comments are gonna come in from our different social networks. So Facebook comments, YouTube comments, those happen all in here. Then we have our banner. Our banner allows for us to show something specific. So we can have this banner here along the bottom that allows for us like a ticker option. We can turn this off and we can create a banner brand new, and I can say testing this out. And so what I can add the banner, as you can see, it's just here at the bottom, okay? But if I want to make it scroll, then it can move across the bottom. So I can use my banner in two different ways. I can have it scroll across the bottom, or just be a still thing at the bottom and it's branding the colors that I have. You can delete it. Next, we have our brand. Now, this is like the nerve center for your live stream, because it allows for you to have all of the foundations, everything that you need, so that what you're creating on your live stream is really, really clean and branded for you, because branding matters a lot. So I'm going to use this one here just because I think that it works the best for our examples that I have. We have our brand color. So you can go in here and give a specific code for whatever your colors are. You can use like Photoshop or a color picker to identify what those colors are specifically. But so this is what's going to show up as your nameplate right down here for whatever it is. So to go down, we have the different views that we have for how these bottom thirds will look based again on whatever your branding has going on. Then we have our logo. So this allows for the branding in the upper right hand corner. You have 100, you can go up to 200 by 200 pixels for here. Just because you have that doesn't mean you need to use all of it. You can make them as big or small as you need them to be. But in order to get this transparency, it does have to have a transparent background as a PNG file. Next, we have overlays. Overlays allow for you to have these like little bottom third situations so that people can have different things going on. I use them for frames, for things like this. See, so then I have like this like custom frame that I have on here. I can turn it on and off. This is an Instagram frame that I have for different things. You have all these, the StreamYard ones will always be here. Overlays allow for you to have not only a well-branded site, but you can use it for different things. If you have slides, like for example, I have this here. I have like my thumbnail for it. I have a quote image that I'm using. I have some custom bottom thirds that I have in place. I have something like this that I can use. These allow for you to very easily just like add these extra layers of like really custom branding. This is the feature that brought me to StreamYard. This is why I got in here, because I wanted custom branding to look more like a news segment so that my live streams could be upgraded and really nice. And it just turned out, it's my favorite thing about StreamYard is that level of customization to my stream so I can make it as professional as possible. So what's really cool is that they've added these video clips. So I can add in these videos. So what's important to know, when you add a video in, it mutes you and it mutes everyone on the screen and just goes right on to it. What's nice is that they give you this little countdown for like if you want to start your live stream and count down like when it's going to go. This is automatically here. Then you also have these different things that you can add on, like if you have a tutorial or commercial you need to run, this can get put in here. So like this.
So once you've logged into StreamYard, you're going to want to go into your
right here is here.
You have to tell.
I can just turn it off and it goes away as well if I need to, but I can just upload it here. Next, we have backgrounds. Now, backgrounds are a great foundation for whatever it is that you might be doing in here. I like the brick background because I've used that for a long time, but you can also then add in like these extra things like phone numbers and branding. You can have a logo, a simple color. You can have this background that's here. I have this background that's like been in here for different things, for examples. So backgrounds are really helpful because they add an extra layer of branding and cleanliness. And like I said, with this cool sort of like not full screen, I can use these areas down here for like a phone number or like a call to action or a name. I can have things happening in the background to just give it more depth. The only thing that it can't do, which is a little unfortunate, is it cannot like be animated, but that's just kind of a little extra bonus thing. Now, background music is a really fun new thing. So why would you want to have background music into your stream? This kind of allows for you to have something going on to set a mood or a tone for what's going on. Maybe you're just doing like a tutorial and you don't want it to be like super quiet. Maybe you're just demonstrating something. So these are in here standard. At this time, you cannot upload your own background noise. These are built in, but they're really nice and they can be way louder. You can loop them. You can have it very quietly going on in the background. That way it just adds this extra level of joy and tone and depth to what's happening with your live stream. All right, so now let's head over to private chat. Private chat allows us to talk to our guests internally here. Like maybe they're talking about something and like they want to share a link to put up on the screen. You can have that. Or you want to say, hey, I'm here, or I have a question, or I have a point, or something like that. I can do that all in here and have that conversation. No one else sees that, just us internally, and they'll get a little notification will show up here. One of our last things to point out is up here in the upper right-hand corner. We can hit record, or it'll say go live, and then it's also where you turn it off as well. But you can hit edit here, and this is where you can go back in and add in more destinations and do stuff. And also up here in the upper right-hand corner, you can hit these 3 dots, and you can rebrand it, so you can change the name of this if it wants to be changed. And you can have up to 10 of these different brands. So if you have different streams or different people that you do things for, you can have them in here as well so that you can maximize what you're doing with your brands and things that you have. As you can see, I have all of these different brands in here that are really just nice and pretty. I said branding makes all of the difference. As an added bonus, if you want to keep up with the latest and newest things from Streamyard, you're going to want to go to new.streamyard.com for the latest and new features that are available with Streamyard so you can always be up to date. All right, let's head over to the computer. Now, if you want to know how you can get started and create your first broadcast with Streamyard, watch this video I have for you right here, and watch this video here because YouTube thinks you are really going to like it. And until next time, I'll see you soon.